Hello, everyone. As we delve deeper into our psyche, we realize that our internal world is as vast as our external world, and it has many, many aspects to it. And I believe that we haven't really understood completely our internal world, but we have enough information to understand many aspects of it. So today I would like to address the concept of identity, which has been really talked about by many psychologists and philosophers and many other academics. And many of them really don't agree on what identity is. Yet, if we take into account what many of them has contributed, it gives us a better idea of what is actually identity. As you go further into your journey of awareness, you will notice that many aspects have to do with the concept of identity. Because, as we talked about before, our thoughts and feelings and actions stem from the internal to the external, and then there's an interaction between the external and the internal, which is constantly flowing between the two in order to actually that manifests things around us and what we experience in everyday life. So our identity has a major part in this. Before we have addressed the idea of programs in the subconscious, which is basically our automatic belief systems or automatic thoughts that we don't really know the source of them, and we act on them and we assume that this is our real identity. And on the awareness journey, we begin to reflect about these programs and know which ones we actually are external things that we have internalized through society or friends or family or parents, etc., and things that we actually wanted to do, that we have made these, we actually chose these thoughts and we are acting on them. An identity, which is very much talked about and has to do with external, is related to the ego, which is the persona. The persona has been discussed by many people, and they discuss their aspects of the sub-personalities, and not just one personality, and they all kind of make the persona that we present to the external world. But to simplify all of that, the aspect of the ego that we externalize to the outside world, what people see from us and what we want people to see. And this usually what the answer you get when you ask people who they are. They tell you their job, where they live, their nationality, their religion, their political views. So basically, it's something that is very external in nature that doesn't really specifically tells you about their internal world, like their feelings or their motivations, their passions. Sometimes you would know a person their whole life and you're not really aware what actually motivates them. And in many cases, there's many people that don't even know what their motivations are, because they think whomever they are is just this persona that they present to the world. And when you ask them about themselves, they tell you, I don't know. I mean, I've never thought about that. And this is very interesting. I mean, how can someone live life and they have never thought about what their passion is? Why do they do the thing they do? Why do you get up in the morning just to go to your job? And then you're like, okay, everybody does that, or many people do that. So what makes you different than the other world? What makes you different than other people? I'm not talking here about uniqueness exactly, or what makes you special, because people kind of try to make this into an ego thing, that we're special, we're different. And there's nothing wrong with that, with being special or different, but it's not, we don't want to see it as a form of a defense mechanism of the ego like escapism. You put like a wall that this is who I am, and you're not allowed in, or you're just allowed to see that aspect of me. Rather, when we talk about what makes you different, is that what really is your essence. And this is a very deep subject, because many people don't really know what their essence is. What is your core identity? What is your true identity? And on your awareness journey, you will realize that there are aspects of yourself that have nothing to do with what you have chosen. Rather, there are things that you've done that people expect from you, or you expect from yourself, like to act in a certain way or do certain things. And there's also aspects of yourself that you didn't really contribute in. So the idea is, what is actually makes you yourself? And this is a very deep, profound question. And it's like Alice's rabbit hole. You go, and that's a very good, actually, story that talks about your identity, who you actually are, and who you act in front of people or do what they expect from you. And Alice really went into her internal world, trying to understand who she really is. Who is Alice? You're more like Alice, you're less like Alice. And the things, or the characters that she meets, you notice they constantly try to remind her of who she really is and who she could be, or what is her actual dormant potential. And on your spiritual journey, or your journey of awareness, the point is, as we talked about before, is to get at a point where you know what you want to do, where you have a hand in your life, where you have a hand in expressing who you are. In order to know, or how you're going to express yourself, and there's different options, too many to count, you need to know who you actually are. And this is, of course, is a process, and not just a one-time thing that, yes, I will, suddenly I just get a epiphany that this is who I am. No, it becomes gradual as you deal with the programs that are in your subconscious, as you realize what you present to the world is actually who you are. And sometimes people are actually ashamed to show some aspects of themselves because they think it's unacceptable, or someone told them that is inappropriate or something. I mean, I've worked with people who talked about not even showing their more scientific selves because apparently that was not appropriate in their society. And that's our more logical selves, which is really, it tells you this person actually repressed their own logic. So this is a brief account of identity in general, and in a sense of the persona. And in other audio videos, I will address many aspects of identity, and which, as I said before, this is all very subjective. So it might be it's different for each person, what is their motivation, their passion, who they really are. But in what I talk about in these videos is a pattern of human nature. So all of us will go through identity search to know who we truly are, in order to express it externally. And until next time, take care. Bye.